Good morning, it's Saturday, July 29th, and I want to tell you a couple of things that are happening around the world, around the country, things that are of interest, things that we pay attention to occasionally. Anyhow, the Emmy Awards have been postponed. They've been postponed because the writers are on strike and the actors are on strike. And that's about 200,000 people on strike from the entertainment industry, and those are the people that get the Emmy Awards. And so because of the strike, the Emmy program is postponed because those people, under their contracts with the unions, are not supposed to perform any event in public. So if they win an Emmy Award or something, they won't be able to come there and collect their statuette, or whatever they call the Emmy Award. And so that strike has been postponed, and there's no new time schedule for it right now. A new date hasn't been set, but sources close to the show confirmed that the original date and month are no longer under consideration. And ideally, the show won't take place until after the SAG-AFTRA and Writers Guild of America reach their agreements with the Alliance of Motion Picture Producers and Television Producers. So right now, the TV Academy and the 2023 broadcaster, which is Fox News, or Fox TV, or whatever you want to call Fox these days, they're still in talks on when the rescheduled event will take place. But it won't take place until the strike is settled because of the union contracts. And I think it's kind of a shame that we don't get a chance to give these people the honors they deserve. And I tell you, I'm not a big fan of running and watching these shows. I am interested in somewhat who wins, and the chances are very good that whoever won, I haven't seen the show because I haven't been doing much watching of broadcast TV or movies lately. So it would be kind of interesting to see who's around and who's acting and who's not acting. I found a little article today about the actors who had retired and how much money they were worth, and I only recognized about half the names on the list. So while I was a big movie buff and we were big stage and live performance people in our former lives, we've kind of outlived that, and the pandemic destroyed the live theater for us and the movie theaters. We haven't been back to the movie theaters in a long time. But it's a shame that the strike hasn't been settled because, in my mind, those people, the writers and the actors and actresses, and whomever else is involved in those particular unions, really not being treated fairly with the streaming services and everything. So I'm in favor of them, and I hope they win the strike and get their money that I believe they deserve. And that's one thing that's going on. Another thing that's going on that's very interesting is that there is a major community being built in Texas. This community will be the largest community of 3D printed homes. And the neighborhood just unveiled its first completed house. These homes will be printed by 3D printers, and the walls will be printed using a concrete-based material. They will be single-story structures, and the first of these 3D printed structures will be ready to accept residents starting in September of this year. And the community is part of a wider development in the town of Georgetown, Texas. And the name of this community is called Wolf Ranch. And that seems appropriate in a place like Texas. And it's located about 30 miles north of Austin, which is the state capital. And Austin is a place that I've heard much about. And I did have a neighbor whose son went to the University of Texas in Austin, and he did well. So it's not a bad part of the world to grow up in, except for the fact that it has a governor like Greg Abbott and is facing the immigration problem. But aside from that, I guess you could do okay in Texas, even though I don't agree with the political atmosphere of that state. So let's talk about the building of these structures. They are being built by a huge computer-based 3D printer. It's 46 square feet in size, something like that. And the walls are printed using a concrete-based material. And these are single-story structures. After the walls are printed, then the doors, the windows, and the roofs are assembled. And all of these parts of the structure are equipped with solar panels. And they are installed once the walls are in place. And more than a third of the homes that have now been printed and are currently on sale are being sold not cheap. You would think that using computers and using robotics would create a structure that was reasonably priced, maybe in the $200,000 to $300,000 range, But these homes are going to go for between $475,000 and $600,000 each. Now, it seems to me that they should be cheaper than that. It seems to me that the materials and everything that are going into this house and that the use of the 3D printer should make them much more economically reasonable. But that's not the case, and maybe that's because it's the beginning and they're not really moving well. I don't know, but I think they're grossly overpriced. And they range in size from 1,500 to 2,300 square feet, and they have 3 or 4 bedrooms. Now, when they start talking about the reasons for doing 3D printer, it makes it even more pitiful that they can't reduce the price. Because these projects are done faster, they don't have as many humans running around doing these things, and they claim they're developing high-quality homes, and they will be much more affordable than conventional building methods. But at $500,000 apiece, that doesn't sound right to me. This is not Long Island we're talking about. This is Texas. And the United States is facing a deficit of approximately 5 million new homes. And this group is determined to be one of the factors that can reduce the need for the new home. So I hope they succeed, and I hope the technology really works well, even though there are many jobs at stake. But it's an interesting project, and it's an interesting start in a new direction. And we'll see if technology can take over the building industry. Another development in the technology arena. Have a great day. Bye.